So before I can do this review, there is a deep, dark secret about my childhood that y'all need to know. Never actually seen the original Aladdin. Yeah, I know. I worked for Disney and I worked for the company, and I still have never seen the original from start to finish all the way through. We weren't allowed to watch it as kids because it had a thief in it, and my mom thought that Jasmine dressed too provocatively. So I never saw it as a child, and then I was working for the company and I was catching up on other movies that I hadn't seen, and that one just slipped by me. It was on at a sleepover that I went to in high school. But if you know anything about high school girls' sleepovers, paying attention to the movie on is not top priority. So I have never actually sat down and watched Aladdin from start to finish. But it's definitely on my list of things to do now that I have seen the live action version. And let me just say, I really liked the live action version. I thought this was fantastic. A lot of people are down on the Disney live action movies, and I don't understand why. I thought Beauty and the Beast was a total romp in the hay, total fun. I thought that the Jungle Book was fun and well done. And I think each one of these movies that they release only keeps getting better and better. Let's go back to Maleficent. Maleficent was the first one of these kind of Disney live action remakes for our modern era, and it was terrible. I didn't like Maleficent at all. I didn't have any interest in watching it again. And then we came out with the next one that I can remember was The Jungle Book, and then I was like, okay, I can see why they're doing this. It's getting better. And then they moved on to Beauty and the Beast, and Beauty and the Beast was very good. I really enjoyed it. There was things that I would change, but it was a decent movie. And now we're at Aladdin. Well, Aladdin was, I think, the best so far of these movies. What Disney has done here is start with their older, lesser-known franchises that people aren't going to be as upset if you mess up Sleeping Beauty. It doesn't hold the same place in our hearts that The Lion King does, right? So we are much more open for Disney to experiment on something like a Sleeping Beauty than we are with something that all of us grew up with and adore and love. So now they're starting to say, okay, we can do these well enough to move into our well-known franchises. So they're doing Beauty and the Beast, they're doing Lion King, and they just did Aladdin. One of the things, before I really dive into Aladdin, the tiger in this movie gives me hope for Lion King, because this tiger looks like a real tiger, but it has just enough cartoon element to it that it was expressive enough to also be, a likable character. So probably one of the reasons they did Aladdin when they did was to practice on making lions. I think that they made the Jungle Book just to practice on their animal technology and how they animate lions and tigers and bears. So I am excited for Jungle Book. Moving into Aladdin, though, this movie was fun from start to finish. There've been a lot of dark movies out lately that are heavy or super action-packed, or just a lot of movies that are just one genre, and that's fine. This movie was action-packed, fun, romantic, well acted, and a total blast. The songs are obviously catchy. Now, I may never have seen the movie, but I've gone and listened to the songs and seen the animation, and I know the significance behind Robin Williams and the genie. Okay, so I feel like I've seen that movie, even though I really haven't. They did a great job staying true to the original and changing just enough, and there will be spoilers in this review. They changed enough, and there are gaps from what I know about the original, because I don't remember some of the things that other people were talking about. I think they made it its own thing. One of the things that I really liked was they put the Riff Rat Street Rat song from the musical version into this one. I would have liked Proud of Your Boy to be in this movie, but I think it might have been too long. So it would have been nice to have that musical number from Aladdin the Musical put into this movie. And I heard notes of it in one of the songs that he sings, but it didn't fully come through. Now, a lot of people are saying that Jasmine's song, Speechless, was their favorite song in the movie, and that it was better than Let It Go with Elsa. I don't think you're ever going to top Let It Go with Elsa. Okay, Elsa is the queen. Fight me. Jasmine's still just a princess. Well, I guess she's a sultan, technically, at the end. But people will be singing Speechless. It was a good song. And I think some of these songs in the movie that are the new one, the Speechless song, when people go out and start doing covers of it, it's going to be even better than what was in the movie. So this movie kind of felt like a live action stage production being filmed in really interesting ways. The opening sequence was incredible. They had everything that you wanted to see out of a cartoon. They managed to put it on the screen. And by that I mean the action, the stunts, the bouncing off of buildings and in between the tops of different carts. And they really did pull it off as if it were a cartoon put on screen. And they had a lot of stunts in this that were very, very good. The weakest character, I would say, was the bad guy, the villain, who I can't even think of his name right now. That's how weak of a character he was. Oh, Jafar. Yeah, Jafar. I think they needed to have a much more intimidating person in this role. I wasn't scared by him. He didn't intimidate me. I wasn't threatened by him. He was a cartoon villain. And maybe that's what they were going for, but I think he was scarier in the cartoon than he was as an actual villain in live action. So I'm not sure why they went with the casting that they did for that character, but I have to say the casting for every other character in this movie was spot on. I loved Aladdin. I thought that he was adorable, he was sweet, he was romantic, he was respectful. And high energy and fun. Some of the singing probably could have been touched up a bit, but it wasn't bad. I enjoyed it. Jasmine, I thought she did a fantastic job. She was the princess that I remember from seeing parts of the movies, and she was also commanding and fun, and she had, you respected her as a character. And she had a lot of power, but she was kind and she used it well. And she was the live action princess that I think we've all been wanting for a long time. Somebody that has real power. And in this movie, politically, Jasmine's right in there with the boys and with her father, making decisions about the country and deciding who to go to war with. And she fights for her right to be politically active, which for the time period this movie is set in, probably didn't actually happen for any woman, but it's fantasy. This is a fun movie. So I loved seeing Jasmine kick butt as a politician, and then she becomes the, spoiler alert, Sultan at the end, which I thought was fantastic. I guess that technically would make her like a queen. But I think there's going to be a lot of little girls who really want to be like Elsa after this. All right, what else did I think about the movie? Well, I'm going to be doing a longer review with Fahad and George of Geekdom Movies. So we are going to be filming that in a few days, so stay tuned. But I wanted to give you my thoughts and my opinions first, and then as we go on, Fahad and George and I will team up for our first joint review. We will be live and in person, and we'll be able to debate back and forth and kind of give each other a hard time over this movie, because I gotta say, Fahad, I don't think this song number was as good as Let It Go. I just don't. All right, well, stay tuned to my channel. Make sure you hit the like and the subscribe button. And if you want to hear more of my thoughts, there are plenty more videos down below, and you can watch those right now. Leave a comment in the comment section for me. I would love to hear what you'd like me to review next. All right, peace out. I will talk to you guys soon, and check out Geekdom Movies. Keep an eye on the website for our joint review. See ya.